8:35 already. We're bringing in Fari Hamzei. What's it going to be? I'm going with. I was going to
What
say
did he
something
say last
different.
time? He said
He
something
said
different.
something new. He said
Yeah.
something about submarine.
Oh,
I think he'll go
shoot. I
watch.
can't remember
Now
what it
he's gonna do
is.
something new. New or watch commander.
Seawolf
Seawolf.
Seawolf. Has he
Seawolf!
said Seawolf before?
I
Is that
think
one
that's what
new
he said
too?
last
last
week.
week.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. So he should know. The trend started two
Yeah,
weeks in a
the
row.
whole
I'm going with
just like the
Seawolf
market.
next.
What you
The
try to do is
trend.
just try to change the pattern, see if they can fall for it. Can they
The,
guess it or not? And then sometimes you don't change the pattern.
the trend is your friend here. I'm going with Seawolf next week.
All right.
And that's what we're going to change.
Fari Hamzei. He's the founder of Hamzei Analytics. He joins the show every Wednesday, bringing his wealth of knowledge on aggressive equity options and index futures trading. Fari, I just gotta ask you about yesterday's move. It just caught me flat-footed. I thought we were just
What?
gonna have two quiet inside days, only 25, 30 point range or something like that. But that wasn't the case. I mean, do we got the legs to follow through today?
Don't know. But yes, it was very powerful, and it was continuous. Pretty much around. Let's see. It was. Let's see what time it was. It was. I mean, it was exhaustive. Let me put it this way. But we started. Pretty much around about the time IB was closing, because we were just going back and forth a little bit for the first 45, 50 minutes, and then it started. I read a piece from one of my guys that does some analysis, and it hit correctly at the time, but I just couldn't see it moving until about 9:30 or so Chicago time, which was the voltage cues are inverted. When you have that in the option side, the pressure to the upside is heavy. Now, our analog says we should be pulling back here a little bit. It's not a big drop yet. It's a little bit down, a little bit up, and then the drop. It's defying that. So, I was caught between two items. This is a problem when you have looking at too many items. And of course, no one indicator is going to work for you all the time anyway. So it's a preponderance of evidence. So I was reading what he had done. I'm looking at it. I actually start plotting the skew on S&P 500, and I see the inversion there, so it makes sense. I come back to the analog chart. Analog chart says we shouldn't be going up. Should be a little bit quiet, and then common sense. The calendar says head of FOMC, we should be sideways. So it got all of us by surprise.
Fari, what are your thoughts here? We're starting the 2-day Fed meeting here today. We're going to get the decision on interest rates tomorrow. Are they raising rates tomorrow? That is the million-dollar question.
Let me answer the way I answered one of my guys, one of my friends and a former client from LA. He wrote to me about 2 days ago. I said, let me talk odds. I'd say 25% yes, 75% no.
So you're going to give me...
It's really not clear. It's not really black and white. You saw CPI also came low.
This is a hard one. I've never seen the consensus so mixed on whether they're going to raise or not. Usually you always kind of get a feel for what they're going to do.
Correct.
In this case, it is mixed. But what do you think the market response is in those two scenarios? Let's say that they actually do raise interest rates. What do you think the market response is?
Well, it would be good for the market, I think. I would prefer actually the raising the rates, kind of getting this responsive or lack of or out of ammo the discussion behind them and move on.
Rip the
and
Band-Aid
also,
off.
Here's the issue. If this economy is going to falter by a quarter point or a half a point, then we don't have an economy. Come on. So let's get this over and move forward. If they don't, that's a negative signal that says, the economy is a lot worse than you think. So that's the way I would look at it. Now, there was a report by Bloomberg, I believe, last night. I heard on Twitter that was a kind of consensus vote. It seemed to be 50-50.
You know what,
so you're
Fari?
right. You're right, very confusing.
I want to throw a little twist on this, too. And I was discussing this with a buddy of mine, very active in the markets. And, The FOMC, yeah, you can try and trade the reaction. You can try and, get chopped up. You could buy the dip. You could sell the rip. But to me, this market is setting up technically as good as it has in a long time. We had the drop. We've had the resistance. We got the major resistance in the SPOOs at 1988, basis to December contract. If, in fact, it can clear that level, and I'm not just talking on a 15-minute bracket, we get a couple closes above that level, then you're going to have some money that was looking to put it to work in a world of hurt. So I don't know if it's going to be resolved at 2:30 or 3 o'clock tomorrow or even at the end of the trading day. But on this one, I'm really content to ride it out and see if we can close above 1990. See if we can take out that, those highs. If you look at a stock like Twitter, it's telling you, or not Twitter, excuse me, Apple, it's done it. But to me, the proof is in the pudding. I don't care if I have to wait till Friday. I don't have to wait till Monday or Tuesday. But this is the best technical setup I think I've seen in this market in a long, long time.
Well, we are, back in late August. The data suggested a kind of a delayed launchpad mode. That is, we're really setting up for a takeoff. All the parameters are in, but we have turbulence ahead, bad weather ahead. Some airports are closed, that kind of stuff. Like, don't take off yet, just be ready. I've run 3 analog charts now against 2011, against 2008, and against shifted 1987. Just the drop part, okay? All of that are showing a takeoff mode of somewhere between about 10 days from now until about like 20th of October. So I'm not sure we'll take off this week. That data I don't have a handle on. It's not there. What data is showing is we'll have a continuous questions about weather and turbulence, and then the weather I'm talking about, stock market weather. We'll have turbulence, we'll have some more volatility when it comes down for a retest and takeoff, which I don't think any big boys are going to commit until they see a retest, or at least close to a retest failure, something close to the what we had in the 1870 area. That calendar, if you will, that the hypothetical calendar that I'm looking at, it runs somewhere between Yom Kippur to which is also fall equinox, and 2011 analog to October 20th. Week of October 12th to October 20th, which is 87 analog time shifted. And there's been a couple of hedges, and I have been going back and forth and looking at some data and looking at a lot of Excel stuff. That's our feel right now. What is the catalyst? I don't know. We got to watch for these things. Yesterday was a wake up. That was a wake up call for as far as the catalyst, because it came from nowhere.
Fari, let's jump into some individual stocks there. We know it was a big day and a big reversal day for a lot of different stocks there and the big market up move. What about Netflix here? This thing had a key reversal yesterday where it made a new low and then eventually turned around and took out the previous day's high, closing very strong on the day, just under $100 a share. What do you think of the chart of Netflix?
Okay. First of all, one caveat. As you know, Ethan Primark does a lot of profile, volume profile work on these things, market profile. And he did have a post yesterday on our blog, which had a lot of hits. I haven't read that. Not having read that, I'm just looking at Sigma channels and CIs and CI diffs. It seems like it is trying to gather a base. It looks like the test that we had, which was an outside bar on the 8th of September, is holding. And now, yesterday we had another outside bar to the upside. I would be very excited if it can go up to 109 and a half and hold it. As Smooth says, go there and close above it 1 or 2 days, which is the right way of looking at it. If it goes to 109.50 and hold it, that's a 50 bar because the zero sig is sloping downward. Going to zero sig, which is slightly lower, won't do it for me. I would want a little bit higher to get more comfortable. Zero sig is 106. I want to see 109.50. If it gets there, I think you're going to see a wave of money coming in. By the way, the last 3 days prior to yesterday, which we had selling going on, the volume was shrinking. So as you see, it's beginning to base. The selling is easing off.
Fari, what about Alibaba? Similar story yesterday. Everybody was selling it in the morning, and then they came in buying it in the afternoon, and this stock really reversed as well, closing very high and strong on the day. It's a stock that hasn't been able to catch a bid, but finally yesterday there was some buyers materializing. Is this just a one-day thing, or is there going to be some follow-through here in Alibaba?
This is a little bit more noisier than Netflix. I don't know why. This should be a little bit more stable business, if you will, than Netflix. But chart-wise, this is a little bit noisy in terms of I'm looking at character of each bars, the length, and sigma positions. Keep in mind, on the 24th, we went below -4 sigma. That's huge. That's huge. I mean, they basically baby on bathwater out of the torpedo tubes. Boom. Nobody wanted this stock. The weekly is ominous. Weekly is a drip, 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 drip bloodletting. Okay, we need to get the zero sig into a positive slope. It's a negative slope. The 50 bar is $10 higher, 74. I don't think this is done yet in terms of having some shakes before get rid of the week longs and then starts coming back up. I see it noisy right now.
Hey, Fari, I got to ask you about Apple here. And we had a
Yes, sir.
significant move. We are back above the pre-crash high or flash crash highs. To me, I see some major resistance here. And let me know if your signal channels are confirming it or not here. You had a high back in August at 16.52. Monday you got up to 16.89. Yesterday you got up to 16.53. I mean, you think that maybe it's a little ripe for a little bit of a pullback here? I mean, I don't see anything major, resistance after close that, but just according to your signal channels, does it look like a little bit of a lower risk short at this point?
Well, Apple is probably one of the better stocks right now in terms of vis-a-vis where they were on the 24th. The second flash crash, if you will. In terms of sigma channels, it's above its +1 sigma. It's come back remarkably. It also was near 5 sigma. It clearly went past -5 sigma. It clearly went past -4 on the 24th of August. Now, it is almost touching 50 bar. The 200 bar is sloping positive. That's about 121. I don't think we're going to see past 122. I think we're going to have a hard time getting to 122. But the next 5 to 6 points would really be a tough move, but it would really stabilize the stock. Remember, the stock traded, what was the high in the stock? 138, I thought it was? I forget.
134.99. That was the day after I bought weekly 125 puts. That's when it peaked. I think that was 2 quarters ago. Just real quick here, just want to get another issue in here. We're kind of up against the clock here. Could you just take on oil? You gave us a great call. This was months ago, Far. You've been coming on here. Goldman Sachs comes out last week and says they're looking for $20 oil. Massive. What do you make of the massive consolidation here in the front month crude oil futures contract?
Well, our OTF, by the way, we added crude to the OTF server because everyone was asking for it in our OTF room. Right now, it's shooting up temporarily. The resistance is looking at is 46.11 and then 47.25 right now as we speak. Okay, these are the current resistance is looking at, subject to change. I don't know if we can get to 20. I think before I respect a lot of what Goldman has done and what they do, and I've consulted for them. They're very, very smart guys, very, very bright people. I don't know, though. I can convince myself we can go to 20. First of all, before Goldman talks about 20, let's talk about chart. There's a gap at 33. Can we go to 33 or not? I think we won't go there until Iran starts shipping oil in size. Remember, their pipelines and key installations and offshore stuff is 30-some years old. Okay, they have a lot of work to do to get things up to speed. So, and will everybody just pump all the way down to zero? We'll all go down together? I don't know. I just have a feeling, this 45 area we talked about back in January, maybe for now will hold until Iran goes getting past the sanctions and start revamping their installations and pumping oil in size. Not 100,000 barrels extra, but let's say a couple of million. That's a long time from here. That could be a year from now.
We've been on the line with Fari Hamzei. He's the founder of Hamzei Analytics. Joins the show every Wednesday, bringing his wealth of knowledge on aggressive equity options and futures trading. Fari, thanks a lot. We appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday.
Always a pleasure to have a chat with you guys. Have a great trading week. We'll talk next week.
Yeah. All
Thanks,
right, Fari. Thank you.